become a #1 best-selling author. This is the playbook we've been using for months 1 through 4 so far. We're on month 5 right now. We have 7 more to go. So 5 is going to be all about keyword research and graphic design. This one is super important. The last one was really short. It was just focusing on blogging and kind of growing your email list. This one is going to be specifically targeted for your book. The next couple ones are also going to be specifically targeted for your book. So this is probably one of the most important months for you, because this is what's going to help you rank well on Amazon, rank well on your book, in your category, because you're doing all the research beforehand. What we're going to be taking a look at is 2 things. First thing is keyword research. Second thing is graphic design. You're going to conduct research, finalize your book title, your cover, prepare your A+ content, and your promotional mock-ups as well. The first thing I want to look at here is going to be the keyword research. This is kind of the more technical aspect, and we'll go into the graphic design. Keyword research here, the main thing that I use is Publisher Rocket. I do have another tool that I'm going to link. It's just a spreadsheet where you can fill it in. Publisher Rocket is what I mainly use. So you can come on here, click on the website. This is what it looks like. I think it's $100 for a lifetime membership. I'm not affiliated with them, so I'm not. It's just, this is the tool I use. And I'll show you what it looks like too. So what I'm going to do is 2 things. You want to have a category search. You want to have a keyword search. So the category search is right here. Keyword search is right here. Everything else is like, it's not as important, at least starting out. Here's what you want to do, right? At your book, you know what it kind of is about. Let's say you're writing a thriller fiction novel. So maybe I would put in thriller into books. Okay. Now take a look at what Rocket comes up with. It'll come up with a couple keywords. It'll give you analytics so you can kind of make a decision off of that. So when people search for your book on Amazon, they're going to type in a phrase. This is the phrase they're going to type in to find your book. Thriller new release. That might be a good one. So we're going to click on the little, what is that? I don't know what it's called. Blank right now. You're going to click on that button. I'm going to see a couple things, and it's a lot of numbers, but I'll break it down for you. So average pages is just the average pages for a book that have this keyword. Number of competitors, this is the number of other authors you're going against. This is kind of high. Average price of the book is $10. Average monthly earnings for authors is about 109,000. Estimated Amazon monthly searches is 34,000. That's a huge number of searches. And competitive score is obviously very high. So we need a balance between the two. We need a balance between the number of searches. We don't want those to be too low. We need a balance between the competitive score. We don't want that too high. So this is a keyword that I probably wouldn't, it's thriller. So this is a keyword I probably wouldn't use. I definitely won't use. Let's look at thriller new release. It's looking better. Monthly searches is still great. Obviously it's less, but it's still a great number of searches. Competitive score is lower, which is good. Be something I'll put on the, like, keep in mind, it may be potential. Psychological thriller is probably going to be very competitive. Yep. Kind of look in here. You want to find keywords that are kind of niche, but still represent your book. Be a good one. This one's a great one, actually. Suspense thriller, free Kindle books. If you fall into this category, this is a good one to use. It's got a low competition score and a good number of searches as well. Because what you want to look for is, you want to look for something that a lot of people are looking for, you don't have a lot of competition with. Because when you're trying to rank on Amazon, that's what they're going to take a look at. As you'll see later, if you sell 10 books of a category, you might be #1 in their bestseller list in that category. You want to have it niche enough to where you don't have a lot of competition, but still have a good number of searches. Let's take a look at some more. There's a typo here. A lot of people are misspelling it that way. This might be a good one. Let's see. Low competition, which is great. The estimated searches is not enough, so this is not a good one to use. What I'm kind of pick out here, what you want to do is you want to have Amazon KDP has 7 keyword spots open for you. Okay, so you want to find preferably 10 keywords. That's what I always do. Find 10 keywords that you're going to use. They don't have to be words, they can be phrases. Right? I'm going to put in suspense thriller, free Kindle books. That's going to be one of my keywords. I'll just pick out the best 7 to use, right? Now, the next thing we want to do is do a category search. The way this works is Amazon has categories. When you look at their, when you fill in a book for KDP, you'll have category options. You'll have 3 category options. The thriller books, we'll take a look at that. Let's see, it'll probably be literature and fiction or mystery, thrill, and suspense. So go with this one. I'm gonna check it out. Again, what we want to do is we want to make it as niche as possible. with a good number of sales searches. Here we have a couple different analytics: sales to number 1 and sales to number 10, publisher percent, and then the KU percent. Okay. The main thing we're focusing on is the sales to 1 and 10. Okay. So take a look here, just initially looking off the bat. If you're in the Audible books and originals, mystery, thrill, and suspense, not niche at all, you need 3,400 sales of your book to reach the number 1 spot. You need about 500 sales to reach the number 10 spot. Let's take another look at a different one. Audible books and originals, same categories here. Mystery, thrill, and suspense, same category, but more niche. So crime, fiction, and action and adventure. Way more niche than before. Now you only need 23 sales of your book to reach number 1. And 1 single sale of your book to reach the number 10 spot in Amazon. This is how we're going to rank number 1 in Amazon as a best-selling author, because we're going to find the right categories and then sell enough books. Do you think you can sell 1 copy of your book? You already reached number 10. Do you think you can reach 3 copies of your book? Probably, right? You can probably buy a couple of your own, and sell a couple to your friends. If all else fails, you can definitely reach 23 sales. You'd be number 1 in that category. So you've already got a best-selling book in that category on Amazon. We're going to look at a couple ones here. If we're looking at thriller novels, right? Maybe it's a crime fiction novel. So what I'd be looking at, let's see here. A lot of the crime fiction was up here. But let's try to search crime fiction. Let's see here. These are the ones that are selectable. Right? So if we're looking at crime fiction, we might do this one, Heist. Good number of sales to 10. A little bit tougher for number 1, possible. 100 sales of your book, that's doable. Don't do the ghost categories. They're difficult for shoppers to find, as you can see here. It says ghost, just avoid it. I would pick out 3 to 4 categories here. Again, P only lets you do 3. I would pick out an extra 1 just in case. This is Publisher Rocket. Use it. It's a great tool to use. I'll link a spreadsheet if you don't want to buy Publisher Rocket that basically does the same thing. Now, I think this is the one actually right here. I got it linked. It was just out of order. This is your template here. So this is where you can organize keywords. Now, another way you can do this without using Publisher Rocket is just jump on Incognito tab, right with the 3 dots in the top right corner, and hit New Incognito window. What you do is you look up Amazon.com. You basically go into the search bar and start reading out keywords. So in the search bar, you'll actually write thriller and see the list of recommendations that appear. Right? You can pick out, okay, it's the top recommendation here. See the number of books in that category. You can kind of do it manually. It takes a little bit longer, but that's the way to do it for free. Got this template link though. All of these, again, every month, it's in the description. All of these are linked, free to use for you. Now, I want to move into kind of a more creative or artistic part of this. That's the graphic design. We've got a couple different things to do here. One thing is do your book title and cover, prepare your A+ content, and promotional mock-ups. What do I mean by that? Start with the book cover because we're all familiar with that. 2 things you can use for the book cover. One of them, I love Canva. Canva is amazing. One of my top 3 tools that I use every single day. Google Docs would be the first, ChatGPT, and Canva would be third. You can make awesome book covers with Canva. I'll show you actually. I'm working on a new book called, I think I'm going to call it An Array of Light. I actually use Canva to kind of give me an idea of the book cover for this book. Here's the book cover I made with Canva. It's kind of just a layout. When you import it into KDP, this is what you want to import. You want to import it as a PDF, not a PNG or JPEG. It's a pretty solid cover just through Canva. Okay, the full version of it, if you go on my website, I do have it as kind of a mock-up. Right here, that's kind of the mock-up version of it. It's not published yet, but that's what the book looks like as a mock-up. So this is just designed through Canva. Now, another resource you can use, and add a link here as well, is Free Book Cover Creator, DIY book covers. This tool I used for this book cover, Canvas of the Mind. As you can see, that also looks pretty professional. They've got a variety of templates here, both free and paid, at all sorts of genres. So if you take a look here, you can just pick one and then customize it to your liking. So these are sci-fi. You've got some poetry collections, maybe like action adventure. You've got horror, thriller, kind of more technical. If you're writing like a self-help guide, romance, you've got all sorts of titles here, fantasy, and you can literally just customize it and then upload it, just like I did with this one. Now, to do the mock-ups, to actually make the books like I did here, you can use another tool, free book cover mock-ups. This is a free tool you can use. You can make all sorts of mock-ups here. This is the one I used for this book, actually. This one. You kind of see how well they turned out. You can do single ones, you can do composite ones, so multiples. You got a book and then Kindle, right, on your tablet and phone. Upload a picture of it, it's done. Really easy to make. What you want to try to do with your book covers in the format here, right? Title, obviously the biggest, author name, small, maybe a little subtitle as well. So I've got the subtitle, the story about you. Here I just have supernatural thriller. Be sure though, this is a mistake I made with my first book, Eyes of Glass, is I didn't make the title big enough. So make sure to make your title as big as possible. Upload it into KDP, upload it into these mock-ups, and actually see what it looks like. See if you can read the title from afar. Because you don't want it to happen where the title is too small or too thin, where when you upload it and you start making mock-ups of it, you can't read it. My first edition of Eyes of Glass, you could not read the title, and even now it's kind of faint. Be careful of that. Now, that's making book covers. Check out Canva. You can use the free version, get the paid version if you can. Now, the last thing, or not the last thing, but book descriptions. I've got a template here. So your book descriptions as good as possible. I've got a template and another generator tool as well. Just briefly showing, this is the template. Here's kind of the breakdown. You want to have a short hook. Are you a fan of this author? You're looking for something fresh? Look at this. Then you want to have a quick quote from a reviewer, someone who reviewed your book. Short description as well. That includes genre keywords. That includes genre keywords, and genre keywords. So make sure to include a lot of keywords. End with a question or a cliffhanger. Grab the reader's attention. And have some more testimonials or reviews. The last thing on here I have is cast a chance to get some more keywords in. Mention author relevance, other genres, other rich content details. And the template for you, I also have a book description generator. This is from Kindlepreneur. I've linked it here as well. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted by this. This is not my own work, but an AI tool that you can use to basically help you write your book descriptions. Now the last thing I want to talk about is the A+ content. If you're new to the book publishing industry, you might not know what that is, but I'll go ahead and show you. So my book, Eyes of Glass, on Amazon. So you can see I literally have the structure for the book description that I just showed you. Are you a fan of this author? I've got the quote from my best reader review, description, and other praise and cast keyword attempt here. This is the A+ content. So if you scroll down, you'll see other pictures about the product. I'm going to have more information on there. We're going to be a series of images that kind of picture your work better. So you can have the book again, short little blurb, what is this about, and other links that you might want to add on. So I've added on links to my merch. I've kind of displayed t-shirts, my hoodies. I've included my website here as well. That's the A+ content. Again, it's with Canva. Pretty easy to make. We're just make sure the dimensions are correct and put in some pictures. That's all for month 5. Make sure you do the keyword research. Again, I've got all these tools linked down below. Get started on your graphic design. Something good to do as well, if you've got a couple different book cover ideas, send them out to your reader. We grew our email list in month 4, so you've got readers that are opening up your emails. If you're in between different book covers, if you're not sure what to decide, send out a couple different options to your readers and let them decide. Let them help you make the decision. Because in the end, they're the ones that are going to read it. If they like one cover over another, that's going to make them read it more. Why not? If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I want to get back to each and every single one. But this is month 5. Month 6, we're going to start building a launch team and do all sorts of things with that. So stay tuned.